Hi, this is Jay from paulpolito.com, and welcome to the next installment in our Linux screencast series about GNU and Unix commands. 103.3 Perform Basic File Management, Part 2. In this screencast, we will continue to examine the tools that help us to manage files and directories in a Linux system. You will get to know the following terms: touch, file, tar, CPIO, DD. The touch command. Touch changes the access and/or modification times of files. To change the timestamps, 3 switches are mostly used. Here's an example. The touch command is also used to create empty files. This can be very convenient if you have to create an empty file that you want to use as a log file. The tar command. Tar is an archiving utility used to collect a group of selected files into a single file archive. In combination with the appropriate command switch, tar can also compress and decompress that archive in the same formats used by the gzip and bzip2 commands. Archives which are created by tar are called tar archives or tarballs. The tar syntax is as follows: tar, operation, option. Okay, so here's an example. In my Paul Polito files directory, I have some files which I want to group into a tar archive. At the same time, I want to compress the archive with gzip. To do this, I have to enter the following command: tar cvzf tarfile.tar.gz. Let me briefly explain the various tar options I've used. -C stands for creating an archive, -V performs the operation in a verbose mode, -Z gzips this file, and -F says use the following name for this archive. After the different options, you enter the name of the new tarball. The dot at the end means that tar will include all files from the current directory in the tarball. To demonstrate the de-extracting and decompressing abilities of tar, I will first create a new directory, and then I will move our new file into that new directory. Now that our file has moved to the new directory, I will unzip and untar all the files in my tar archive. It is, in fact, a reversal of the process I initially executed. In this case, we use the command tar xvzf tarfile.tar.gz. Instead of the option -C, I have used the option -X, which stands for extract. As you can see, all files and directories were extracted from the tarball to the current directory. Here's an overview of the most common tar command switches. The CPIO and DD commands. The CPIO command is used to create and extract archives or to copy files from one directory to another directory in our file system. CPIO is different from tar in that it does not come with a compression option, so you must employ gzip or bzip2 if you desire compression. Let's have a look at an example. Here, I will create a CPIO archive that contains all the files in the current working directory. Now, I will create a new directory, move our CPIO archive to this directory, and finally extract the file again. As the output of ls minus la shows, all formerly compressed files have been extracted to the current directory. The most frequently used CPIO command options are the dd command, which stands for disk dump, is used to copy and convert files and also for creating disk images. dd is one of the few commands that can operate directly on block devices rather than requiring access through the file system layer. Although dd could be applied to files, it is perhaps most commonly used as a backup tool. One method you can use to back up an image of a whole partition could be based on the device file. I use the command as shown to create a backup of my /boot partition. In the next example, I will simply copy a file with dd. The dd command comes with a wide variety of command switches. For more detailed information about dd, have a look into the man page. The file command. Linux does not require file name extensions to determine a file's type. If you are unsure what kind of file you are dealing with, you can use the file command to determine what kind of file is being queried. Here's an example in which I query my home directory using file. Summary. The touch command changes the access and/or modification times of files. tar is an archiving utility and is used to collect a group of selected files into a single file archive. The CPIO command is used to create and extract archives or copy files from one directory to another directory in our file system. The dd command is used to copy and convert files. It is also used to create disk images. The file command determines the kind of file being queried. Study points. Using the touch command, create some new files and change the timestamps of already existing files. Study the man page of tar and the command itself. tar is a topic that LPI loves to ask questions about, so be well prepared. Use the CPIO and dd commands to get familiar with how they work. Search for more examples of CPIO and dd on the internet and study these examples. Query some files with the file command to understand the purpose of this command. This is Jay from paulpolito.com, and thanks for watching this screencast about GNU and Unix commands. See you next time.